My kit came with a new oil level sender, nice and labeled for me here. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the new one. Let's make sure I have my little copper crush washer on there, and it should go right here, right between cylinders 2 and 3. And then I should feel a snug fit as it goes through that new gasket that we just put inside there. All right. It just threads in, and I've never found a torque spec for this, so I just take some wrenches and tighten that down snug so it crushes the washer just a little bit. And then I got a couple caps and stuff to stop things from accidentally falling in there. Welcome back to the engine build, guys. This is where we left off. Today we are going to install our thermostat. Here is our old one that we took out. We're going to replace it with the one that came in my kit. Is the LN Engineering 160 degree low temperature thermostat. So it is just the thermostat piece itself. So I'll be reusing this part. And first thing, I'm going to throw up my vapor honer to clean it up. Not sure if I've ever mentioned my vapor honer on this channel, sarcasm included, but holy cow, I'm back 90 seconds later with this brand new looking piece of art. Okay, so it looks like the first thing I have to do is remove this thermostat, which I've never done one of these before, but it looks like you just compress it some and then this will slide out. Let's see how hard that's going to be. Okay, pretty hard. So yeah, you literally just push down with your two thumbs on these tabs and rotate it around and they come out of those grooves. And then we can take our old thermostat and replace it with the new LN one. All right, so I just have this in a vise to hold it in place for the new one, and I think I finally figured out the secret. I was using a socket on top of this, pushing this all the way down, and I couldn't get this to go all the way in there. And I realized because this part fully compresses and it doesn't go down anymore, but this part is independent of that and the spring goes around the outside of it. So you can't push on this part, you have to push on these to get it down and back in the grooves. And those things are kind of sharp, but wasn't too bad. They will kind of snap into place. There's a ridge on the top here so that it cannot rotate after you get it in the right place. So now it is ready to install. My kit came with a new water pump gasket. So let me get these on. So on my 997, this gasket actually went behind this front console a little bit, and that bolt there captured it, but this one does not. It is independent of that console. I know there's a debate, but it is a stupid debate. Always use plastic impellers. Don't use the metal ones, because when your bearing goes out and it starts wobbling, it will chew away at your block and eat your block, and then your block is no good. And then what did you save yourself? Found my water pump bolts, gonna vapor hone these. I know that the two holes with the little dowels on the back are the ones that have the longer bolts, so I just go ahead and mark on the front in blue so I can remember easily which one the longer ones go into. We have 5 smaller bolts and 2 longer ones. Use these 2 pins to hold the gasket in place for us while we put the water pump on. Just gonna go around and hand tighten these, starting with the 2 large ones. This is a billion times easier with the engine out than it is with it in the car. It's not impossible in the car, but man, this is so much better. As a majority of our bolts have been so far, 10 Newton meters on these guys. And we will witness mark as we go. All 7 torqued and accounted for. All right, so this is the bolt that we had just started holding on our front console before, and there is one more. The second one goes in here. These are T30s. I'm going to tighten them up now finally to 10 Newton meters. All right, next up we're gonna do the oil pump housing here. So that hex key, I have a chromoly oil pump hex drive, a new one in the kit from LN, so we're gonna use that. For the oil pump gears, just going to make sure this is nicely lubed, and it's gonna go right in here, fit all the way tight. All right, I pulled this out of the bin, so this is how they are gonna go back in. This one here has the hex cut out. It's going to go into it. These gears will go in. We have a gasket that we're gonna replace. And let me hit this with a vapor hunter. Ta-da, much better. I was a little lazy, but I pulled this thing out. That was a 17 millimeter, the oil pressure regulator thing. We got a new one that's coming with the kit. I'm gonna lubricate this area inside here with our normal engine assembly lubes. All right, very liberal on the actual gear part with assembly grease. On the first startup, it's gonna help create the vacuum to get the oil pressure up, very important. Gonna drop him in right over that hex key. He should be pushed in. These should be flush with where the case is gonna be. All right, same for the next gear. He is all lubricated and my kit came with this gasket. That's the Porsche part number. Gonna go ahead and lay it in place. Press it in the groove. These are all the hardware that I bagged up for it. Let me clean them. On the cover, I lubricated in the holes where it's gonna make contact with our gears here. And I'm just going to drop this cover on now. Should slide in and our little dowels will line up. So these covers are all different. Mine has 6 of the short ones, so I'm just gonna put a couple of these in by hand right now. All right, some have 2 long bolts. Mine only has 1. Okay, my long one does go up here. That's the only place it will thread into. You may have guessed it, but we are going 10 Newton meters on all of these guys. And this is a T30 and the others are 10 millimeter. All right, after tightening that up, we want to make sure that our engine still rotates nicely, and yes, it does. And the kit also comes with this updated 997 oil pressure relief kit. So anytime you rebuild one, they recommend you get one of these guys. Here is the part number for the little piston that goes in first. All right, flip the engine upside down now so that we can install this oil pressure relief kit. Got this lubed up, and he's gonna drop down right here with the open end up because other components are gonna go into that. Goodbye, little guy. Next up is the spring. Drop him right in there. He should come up a little bit. All right, the kit does not come with this cover, but it does come with a new crush washer, so out with that one. I'm gonna clean this one up and reuse it with the crush washer. All right, 17 millimeter socket. I was following along my 997 video and I said 25 Newton meters there, and that did not feel tight at all. So I looked it up and it looks like it is 60 Newton meters, and that's what I had written in the book that did not have a torque value. So I'm gonna go 60 Newton meters on this with a 17 millimeter socket. Yeah, mark the difference there of how much more it turned from 25 Newton meters to 60 Newton meters. And yeah, this is what you need to get it to start crushing that washer. And to finish this up, I found from my removal video that this bolt went right here, and it is an E14. All right, guys, please let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, but all I have found from my previous video is that this thing goes to 65 Newton meters, which is a ton. Of course, this kit comes with a thermostat housing gasket, so we're gonna put a new one of these on and attach our thermostat, reusing the same 4 bolts that we removed it with. So you guessed it, 10 Newton meters. We're gonna tighten all 4 of these bolts and witness mark them. So that's where our thermostat housing goes, right over there. And I like to put these little red caps on the openings, just to keep stuff out of the engine. All right, this ugly piece of crap, soon to be a beautiful new looking piece, goes right here with this gasket behind it with the part number. Shazam. Mine were all T30s, got them on at 10 Newton meters. All right, I think we're good for this video, guys. Please give it a thumbs up. When we come back, I should have the plastic console. I bought a new one. This is the old one that goes here, covers up this, wraps around, covers up that hole. Stupid UPS wanted my signature and I wasn't here yesterday, so I have to wait until after this weekend to go get it. So see you guys on the next one.